Alright, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chuck. This is Hardly Homesteading. And today I'm grateful for all you beautiful people that have subscribed to my channel and continue to watch the videos and support me. One thing that makes me happy is seeing new growth in my plants, especially real quick growth that I've been getting from using the worm castings. So this video is going to be all about my seedlings, because it's time to plant the broccoli. And probably gonna put the cauliflower seeds in the beds too, but yep. And we're gonna go over my plan to prevent them from getting murdered by frost. I've installed dowel rods on this. Is the first bed here. You can see I've already planted a couple of my broccoli seedlings. These were my testers. They already had yellowed leaves. Not 100% sure why, but they're the only seedlings that had yellowed leaves. So I figured I would just throw them in the bed and see what happened. I put them in there Monday and they seem to be doing just fine. But yeah, I put dowel rods on each corner. And these little eyelets here with bungee cord. So if we are going to get a frost, I can just throw a tarp over it and bungee cord it down so it doesn't get murdered by frost, like I said. So yeah, I'll give you a quick run through of how I'm doing that, and we'll go over some more stuff about my seedlings, where we're all at with that and stuff. So if you get any value out of this, please hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications for all the videos that I put out. Remember, diligence is the mother of good luck, and thank you for watching the video. Alright, so what I did is I went out and got some half-inch dowel rods. I cut these into 16-inch lengths. The first one that I did, that I already showed you, I cut those 12 inches, and I decided that was probably a little bit short. I don't think the plants are going to get too big by the time it warms up, so 12 inches, 16 inches, whatever you think's best. And so what I'm going to do is just take a half-inch drill bit. That's the same diameter as the dowel rods. Pick a spot on here and just drill the holes. I'm going to hammer the dowel rods into it about 4 inches or so, and then I'm going to install eyelets down at the bottom. That way I can just hook a bungee cord onto a tarp and just hook it on there, so we can protect the plants from frost. Oh, in other news, if you recall from a couple videos back, I asked what those little green plants were growing in these beds, and as it turns out, it's straw. There's tons of videos on here that talk about using straw for mulch, but nobody ever mentions that the straw is going to grow in your garden beds. These are definitely seeds from the straw, because they're still, some of them are still hooked into bunches, like at the ends of the straw. And so all week I've been going around and pulling out straw that's growing in all my beds. So yeah, that's an issue. But let's get started on building these frost barricades, frost protectors. So once you get your dowels hammered in there, all we're gonna do is switch out the bit to I think it's an 1/8 inch bit, real small one, so I can drill a pilot hole for the eyelets. So we'll do that one at a time. Depending on what size of tarp you have, you're probably gonna have to put them in a different location. I went and got a bunch of, I think they're 5x9s or 7x9 tarps, because they were on sale for like $2 at Harbor Freight. Mine are kind of too big. I wish I would have got slightly smaller ones, but I think I can make it work. These are the eyelets I got. I picked these up at Menards. They're like $1 for a pack of 5. And these are 1 and 25/32 of an inch size eyelets. So that's what we're using. Well, there you have it. This is going to be my plan to protect against frost. Forecast actually looks pretty good over the next week or so, but it's being predicted that we're going to get another blast of cold weather coming through, so figured it's better to be prepared. Next, we're going to plant some broccoli. Alright, so what I'm going to do to plant my broccoli is just pick out the best seedlings. I'm going to dig a hole that it'll fit down, the root base will fit down in, and I'm going to pour some worm castings in there, and then I'm just going to put it in there, cover it up. That's pretty much it. Alright, I got all my broccoli planted. Looks like a storm is about to come in. I'm a little bit concerned that the wind is going to damage the plants, but I don't know. I guess we'll just see what happens. Technically I could put the tarps over them. I finished that also. I was short one section of dowel rod to complete the ones that I planted in, but yeah, I don't know if it's necessary. I think they need to be hardened, but I mean, I've already been hardening them technically. They've been outside for the last week or so, and yeah, I don't know, they'll probably be all right. Alright, so my plants have been out here now for about 24 hours, and they seem like they're doing pretty good. No issues yet. The weather's been pretty mild, a little bit of rain. I think they're good to go. So out of all the subjects that I've had to learn about since I've started this homesteading project, starting seedlings has probably been the one that I have, or at least I feel like I've gained the most knowledge from. I feel like I have a really good grasp on how to grow seedlings as far as peppers and broccoli go, because those are the only seedlings I've grown so far. But I feel pretty confident that I can do that now. You know, I had a lot of doubt and I was unsure, and I was learning and constantly having to research things, and it's a pretty good feeling to know that you at least have a couple you know, solutions when problems arise, instead of having to panic or run to the internet and try to figure it out. But one of the coolest things I think that I've learned with my seedlings is that there's, at least in my opinion so far as broccoli and bell peppers go, there is absolutely no need for chemical fertilizers at all whatsoever. I had mentioned previously in a lot of my videos about my seedlings, about how they all seemed kind of stunted. You know, they were growing real fast and they got to a point and they just stopped growing. You know, the ones that they had turned yellow, the cotyledon leaves had turned yellow and fallen off in there, but pretty much all the plants reach a certain height and then just stayed like that. Nothing happened. And what I realized is that they were nutrient deprived. And I solved that problem with worm castings, and I think that really is all you need. Obviously my plants are not fully grown and fruiting yet, but the difference, like, soon as you add worm castings, I mean, it seems almost overnight. Within a couple days, the plants are unrecognizable. These trays right here, these plants were tiny. They basically looked like cotyledon leaves, you know, just like two little tiny leaves. And you know, as soon as you add the worm castings, I mean, not well, after a couple days after adding the worm castings, they just explode. All of these up here, this is my little bell pepper forest I got going on. All of these had quite a bit of worm castings mixed in with them, and they are doing fantastic. And just worm castings, you know, what I was watering them with was worm tea concentrate, highly diluted worm tea concentrate, and a little bit of this liquid dirt stuff mixed in there. But even with that, they weren't growing. They just were staying there. They weren't dying or anything, but they just were not doing anything at all. And it wasn't until I mixed in a significant amount of worm castings that they just exploded and took off. You know, the plants that I had just showed you, a lot of those I didn't think were going to grow at all whatsoever. I figured they were just going to be like trash seedlings pretty much. But yeah, as soon as I gave them some worm castings, you know, and I'm talking about the actual worm castings, not the liquid extract, but as soon as I gave them that, they just exploded. And so, you know, what I ended up doing with a lot of these is that I just pulled the plant out of the cup, knocked off all the excess dirt, and then I put some worm castings in the bottom of the cup, a little bit, and then I put the plant back in there and then put worm castings over the top. And the worm castings also kind of act as sort of mulch or something, I've noticed. It makes your soil retain water a lot better, so you have to water them a lot less. Yeah, so worm castings all around. I don't think there's any need for any sort of chemical fertilizers so far. I mean, buying a bag of worm castings is a little bit expensive, but my worm farm is kind of off the chain at the moment. I've probably got several thousand worms in there. Anxiously waiting to switch it to the bigger bin, which I really need to do, but I'm just waiting until I know, the temperature's got to stay above 40, and this week coming up we got temperatures dipping below 40, and I just don't want to kill the worms, so I was just probably gonna wait a little bit, at least until after my trip that's coming up this week. On Tuesday we are going to Washington State, to Seattle, and so yeah, so I'll probably wait till after that. But so that's where we are. Seedlings are doing great. We've got the broccoli planted. We're getting ready for the frost, and I think that's about it. If you got any value out of this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, and when you subscribe, make sure you hit the little bell so you get notifications for all the videos I put out. And with all that being said, remember to think about what you're grateful for and things that make you happy. And don't forget, diligence is the mother of good luck. Thanks for watching.